What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Before I crack on with this video, go check out today's video sponsor, which is OneFootball. You can find the link at the top of my description. This video is brought to you by OneFootball. If you want to download the OneFootball app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of my description, which will take you forward to where you can download this app. The OneFootball app is extremely useful if you are a huge football fan just like me. It provides you with the latest footballing news, transfer news, and the latest videos as well. It is one source of information of where I get my transfer news from. It also allows you to see the latest scores with what's happening in the footballing world. If you just click on a game, including any Manchester City game, it will not only bring up the latest team news, but it will also bring up the latest statistics and keep you up to date with everything happening in that game. If you want to download this app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of the description to stay up to date. Thank you very much to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest transfer news, football scores, statistics, updates, all that good stuff, then OneFootball will keep you up to date with all that. Best footballing app out there. Link is at the top of my description. Downloading through that link does help to support the future content created here on my channel, and thank you to everybody that has clicked that link and downloaded OneFootball. Legends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Doing daily Manchester City transfer updates for everybody to enjoy throughout the summer transfer window. So if you want to stay up to date first and fast with the latest City news, then do subscribe. Less than 600 subs now away from 20k subscribers, which is my goal. Also, don't forget social media links in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. Twitch link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on that. Also, leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy this video. 500 likes is the like goal. And lastly, don't forget, most importantly, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say with regards to these transfers. Without further ado, let's crack on with this transfer update. We're going to hit straight into the outer. We've got an update on Matt Smith. Now, he has officially joined Hull City on loan for the rest of the season, so I wanted to wish the very best of luck to Matt on his loan move to the Championship, and I hope he absolutely smashes it. Hull have got themselves a fantastic central midfielder in Matt Smith, and I am looking forward to tracking his progress. Now, moving on to the next story. Bernardo Silva, very interesting this. Pep, he has confirmed that Bernardo Silva isn't happy and he wants to leave. It's no real surprise. It has been reported over the summer, even when he returned back from his holidays back to Manchester City, and players are normally nice and happy and smiling returning back to pre-season after a nice little break. Bernardo Silva just looked pretty down and out, which wasn't good to see, and I just don't feel like his heart is at Manchester City, which Pep has all but confirmed. And like I said, doesn't feel like he wants to be here. However, with how the market is, who's going to be able to afford Bernardo Silva? Who's going to bring him in? It had previously been reported that City were looking for 60 million euros for him, and Bernardo Silva now, apparently his value is 45 million pounds. That's according to Martin Blackburn at The Sun, who is reliable with Manchester City news. And I just feel like we're really bad at selling players. 45 million pounds for someone of the quality of Bernardo Silva, a player entering into his prime. He's obviously a very tricky player, can play through the centre, can play out wide as well. He's got a really good shot on him. He's good at pressing. He's a good passer, good crosser of the ball as well, a very dynamic player. I do feel like he would, he wants to move to Spain. I feel like he would suit La Liga and their style of play. And I feel like he'd be a really good player. And I feel like if a team signed him for 45 million pounds, and they've gone and grabbed themselves an absolute bargain. But I just feel like we're really bad at selling first team players. Ben White went to Arsenal for 50 million pounds. Yet we're getting 45 million pounds for Bernardo Silva, and Bernardo Silva's an attacker. Attackers normally are selling for a little bit more than what defenders would. So yeah, Ben White clearly showing there the homegrown English Premier League premium there, with Bernardo Silva not showing that at all. It just, yeah, I'd personally feel 60, 70 million pounds, not 45 million pounds. But there we are. Atletico Madrid, we already know, are interested in signing him. And apparently Bernardo Silva wants to move to Spain. He wants to sign for Barcelona, who, with the current Messi situation and Laporta coming out and saying just how much debt Barcelona are in, making, what, over £400 million loss in the last year, they've not got two pennies to rub together They're not spending £45 million to bring Bernardo Silva in when they can't even afford to put one of their players who's halving his wage onto and registering him to play in La Liga. Sergio Aguero, Memphis Depay, Eric Garcia, they're not registered right now to play La Liga football for Barcelona. They're in dire straits. Barcelona cannot afford £45 million, and I'm going to find it very dubious if they can all of a sudden go out there and spend £45 million on Bernardo Silva. I personally think that move is a little bit delusional on Bernardo's behalf. I feel like if it was Atletico Madrid, I'd say perhaps they're not in such a financial mess. I'm sure with Sal Niguez being linked with the exit door at Atletico Madrid, there might be an opening into their midfield and maybe a bid to come in for Bernardo Silva. But for Barcelona, yeah, I'm not sold on that one. But there we go. And interestingly, Pep has also said that 2 or 3 players aren't happy at Man City and want to leave, and it has been quite a few people speculating about who that could be. I've heard Jesus' name put out there. I've heard Aymeric Laporte's name put out there. I'm going to put them in the same brackets as what Bernardo Silva is, which is these players hold a value. These are first-team football players, squad players at Manchester City, and quite frankly, there aren't many teams out there that can afford to bring in such quality players like the Brazilian international up front as well, Gabriel Jesus, Aymeric Laporte, Spanish centre-back now, a fantastic football player. These players, they should be, the only way I see them leaving is that if they're leaving for cheap, and I just don't feel like they should be leaving for cheap, even if they want to leave. I mean, look at Harry Kane, look how much Tottenham are dragging their heels over Harry Kane to make sure they get a really good deal, yet City just say, oh, we need to sell players and then let these players leave for cheap, and it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't represent a good value for that player. There's no way Bernardo Silva is valued at £45 million, and I'd be upset if players like Jesus and players like Aymeric Laporte were leaving as well for less than their value. I couldn't even rule out a loan as well with obligations to buy. It's just, yeah, not for me. But yeah, we'll see what happens with regard to that. I did find them comments very interesting that Pep made in his press conference for the match against Leicester City coming up in the Community Shield, which I will be doing a live stream, of course, doing a watch along of the first game of the season, starting with the Community Shield. So I will see everybody later on today for that. If you haven't set your reminder, then the link is already on my channel. If you want to go and set your reminder, I will also pop up the link somewhere in the top corner as well for everybody to look forward to. Anyway, moving on to the ins. Lionel Messi, latest on him. Quite a few conflicting reports. So Marca is saying that Manchester City want to turn their attention to Lionel Messi as they're finding the Harry Kane transfer pretty complicated and very expensive. However, we did have a bit of reliability put on this despite rumours coming in from Spain. And Martin Blackburn, working at the Sun, close to Manchester City, has reliable Manchester City info. Says Manchester City quite simply don't think Lionel Messi fits into their wage structure, and they plan to proceed ahead with what direction they want to head this transfer window in, which is Jack Grealish is done. They now want to turn their attention to Harry Kane. Then Le Sport in France are saying that Lionel Messi and his father, who is his agent, are in contact with the CFG, and the CFG apparently wanted to give Lionel Messi a 3-year deal. Do keep an eye on that one, that would be interesting. However, I do feel like he'll end up at PSG. Fabrizio Romano is saying PSG are really pushing hard. Neymar, he wants Messi in Paris, and Fabrizio does say that in terms of Manchester City making a move for Lionel Messi, it's very quiet in terms of that. And Pep Guardiola has spoken in his pre-match conference against Leicester City and said that with Grealish signing and taking up the number 10, in his eyes, he can't see Lionel Messi happening to Manchester City. He does wish Lionel Messi all of the best. And so with that in mind, it does seem like PSG would be his most likely destination. However, not keeping or ruling out, and I am keeping an eye on what La Liga and Barcelona do about their funding and what's happening with the Super League and stuff, because I'll tell you right now, it is a big money loss, not only to Barcelona, but to La Liga as well, that if Lionel Messi is playing in another league for another team, financially, from a business point of view, it does not make sense. Barcelona saying they're finding it impossible to get that done. Laporta has come out and done a press conference addressing the situation, the dire situation that Barcelona are in terms of finances, and trying to get players registered to play for Barcelona in La Liga, and it is definitely a La Liga problem, it seems. And so, yeah, if they can get that sorted, they could maybe go back in for Messi, but as it is right now, he's not a Barcelona player, and he is listening to offers from other clubs, and I would say that PSG would probably be the most likely team for him to end up. at. But however, if Harry Kane over the next week or so starts to collapse and things aren't materialising and not moving in the right direction, I can see Man City perhaps having a look at Lionel Messi. But how long is he going to be available for? That is the question. Now, moving on, Jack Grealish, of course, signed, sealed, delivered. He is a Manchester City player. He could feature in the Community Shield and could make his Manchester City debut today. And Martin Blackburn has given us some details on the deal. We already know it's £100 million. Aston Villa have confirmed that. Pep Guardiola was speaking, saying we've made £60 million in selling players that aren't first-team players at City this summer, and so we spent an extra £40 million on top of that money that we've brought in to bring Jack Grealish in, and that's the only way we could afford the £100 million. This is Pep Guardiola giving his hint that if Harry Kane is to sign for Manchester City, then players will need to leave. Then 2 or 3 players plus Bernardo Silva before we start dipping in and start spending big. Of course, we know financial fair play, we can spend big, but I don't think City are going to do that. We've got how we run our business, our tight business model, and I don't think we're going to deviate too far away from that. However, spending £100 million on just one player is kind of us deviating away from that. However, that wage structure, what's complicated with bringing Messi in, we don't want to break away from that. And Jack Grealish, he's now on the pay scale, he's on that wage structure. £230,000 a week is what Martin Blackburn says that he is on. And as he goes through the years in his contracts, his wage will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And also, interestingly, like I said, Grealish is wearing the number 10 shirt. And just having a watch of some of the City videos on YouTube of his first day at City and him giving some exclusive interviews, he's saying he wasn't expecting to get the number 10 shirt, but he's delighted that he's got it. He said that it's not only made his day, but also made his year that he's managed to bag the number 10 shirt. Filling in for the boots of Sergio Aguero. Big boots to fill. Hopefully Jack Grealish can live up to it. Now, moving on to our final story. Harry Kane, got an update on him. He has confirmed through himself with a statement saying that he'll be back in training next week. Says he hasn't been on strike. He's saying he wouldn't do that to the club. He has too much respect for the club. He's been isolated and he'll return back for Tottenham Hotspur. He's ready to return back to their first team training and do basically as he's told. And this is Harry Kane now not wanting to burn any bridges with Tottenham. He doesn't want to leave bitterly to force through a transfer, and I would say it's quite unlikely now that a transfer request would go in, and so we're going to find it very difficult to get this deal done. Now, Pep's come out with some very interesting comments. Mind games. Some people, I'm sure Spurs fans will be suggesting, and I'm sure Spurs bosses will, and saying it's unprofessional of Pep Guardiola speaking about a player that isn't a Manchester City player, but Spurs player, hardball, they're hard to negotiate with. So he's publicly come out. He said City very interested in signing Harry Kane. He wants that transfer to happen. He wants Kane to become a Manchester City player. He said there are other clubs that would be interested in Harry Kane if he is to become available, but it's all down to Spurs and if they're willing to negotiate. If they're not willing to negotiate, then he says the transfer is finished. And so we're going to go after other players. That's why I've been speaking about Lionel Messi. But like I said, that ship could have sailed. He could be off to PSG, could have something in the pipeline for another club for him to go somewhere else. Is it the CFG? Is it Man City? It all depends on Harry Kane. It's an absolute mess out there. There we go. That is my conclusion. So there we go. That has been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Aiming for 500 likes. Also, don't forget social media links in the description below, sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Twitch link also in the description below too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitch. Let me know your thoughts, what you made of these transfers in the comments below. Harry Kane, are you happy with that? What have you made of Pep's comments there? Don't forget also to put your well wishes in for Matt Smith joining Hull City on loan till the end of the season, and also Bernardo Silva leaving. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel as well. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on to stay in the loop with the latest Manchester City transfer news every single day this summer. Less than 600 subs away now from 20k subscribers. Hopefully we can hit that soon. And also don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, OneFootball. You can find a link to that at the top of my description. Downloading OneFootball does help to support the future content created here on my channel, but it also gives you the best footballing app out there with the latest football news, transfer news, as well as the latest scores and statistics. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. I might see some of you guys sooner as well with the live stream watch along of the Leicester City game against Manchester City at Wembley Stadium for the Community Shield first silverware on offer for everybody to enjoy. So I'll see you then, or I'll see you tomorrow for the next transfer update. So I've been JSGC. I hope everyone is safe and well. Thank you everyone for watching. Peace. Ciao for now.